I want to start this video off by asking you guys a question. Let's say you watch a YouTuber. This YouTuber uploads a video accusing another YouTuber who you also watch as a rapist. The said individual that you watch who is making the accusations either provide a very one-sided, vague screenshot of a so-called conversation that one individual had with the other individual, or they don't provide any evidence whatsoever and just say that this person raped them. What do you do in this situation? Do you do A, press your cat block button, go to their channel and say, you are a fucking rapist, or do you do B and sit back and take a more calm, rational, logical approach to the situation and wait for the other person, who is being accused, to respond accordingly? Because I, for one, don't believe in this whole trial by social media. And let me explain what I mean by this. So recently, there has been another YouTube sexual abuse scandal thing that has recently come about. And this is different from Sam Pepper because Sam Pepper has piles of evidence shown that he asked for illegal nudes of people, wanted to have sex with underage girls. That's been proven very, very clear. However, this other instance, the specific instance that has been happening the past few days, has been really convoluted and contradicting with a lot of the claims that have been made, especially with evidence that has been provided by one side and evidence provided by the other side. What I'm referring to here is Craig Dillon, a YouTuber on YouTube who has recently been accused by 3 other men of being raped by him. Now, I'm not saying that what these people said are false. I'm rather being suspicious of the claims that they are making against Craig Dillon, simply because a lot of the things that they say do not line up. Now, these 3 individuals I'm talking about they're all friends with one another, and they all uploaded these videos at the same time attacking this individual, making the same accusations that they were raped by Craig. I want to make it clear that I am simply being suspicious of the claims made. I'm not doubting that they weren't raped. I'm simply being suspicious of the validity of their claims against Craig. And the reason I say this is because a lot of the stuff that they provided in terms of screenshots and stuff were very one-sided. In fact, if you go to Craig's channel, which is linked down below, his video you can watch for yourself, along with the very, very long, very, very in-depth response he did on his Tumblr with evidence and screenshots to show the other side of the story, really says something completely different than his 3 ex-friends who are trying to accuse him of being a rapist. One of the most disturbing things is one of the individuals who accused Craig of rape has some and it's very clear because Craig shows some photos of this individual who literally, and I'm someone who has a past of self-harm, and this photo is not only disturbing, but this gets into a whole nother area, but there are said individuals who self-harm or hurt themselves simply out of a manipulation tactic to get the other person to either stay with them in a relationship or not leave the relationship. This goes more just beyond self-harming, and I know there are people who've experienced this along with myself, of people who threaten to harm themselves or do harm themselves if you break up with them or if you don't have sex with them or whatever it be. There are people who do this, women and men. I've seen it. I've been in a relationship like that where I've been threatened that they would hurt themselves if I broke up with them. This is an entire manipulating tactic. But the reason I'm saying this is one of the people who made this accusation against Craig took photos of literal, and I mean this is, it's linked down below. I normally don't say this, but trigger warning because it is a very graphic photo, and I mean it's graphic in terms of self-harm. A lot of blood, and I saw that photo and I was like, wow, that is an extreme case of self-mutilation. That is a scary case of self-mutilation. The other said individual, Tate, who made the accusation against Craig, provided a very one-sided conversation, which makes me suspicious because the whole entire conversation with Craig and this guy are really flirty back and forth and complimenting one another. The conversations, and then Craig shows the other side of the conversation, and like, if you've been raped by someone, this person raped you, why would you continue to talk with this individual, put smiley faces, winky faces, call them pet names and cutie? Like, if you've been raped by someone, and I understand manipulation, but if you've been raped by them, why would you converse with them in such a flirtatious way? That, it makes me suspicious. That's all that I'm saying here. Now, the reason that I say that I'm suspicious is because I don't believe in this whole trial by social media. When someone accuses someone else of raping them, what I believe needs to be done is it obviously needs to go to the police. These things need to be recorded, evidence needs to be backed and logged on each individual side. What is even more frustrating about this entire situation is that I keep seeing larger YouTubers who I watch and who I like and who I support comment on these people who have come out saying that I was raped by so-and-so, and giving these people support and actually telling those individuals to go spam the so-called alleged rapist. And so this person who has been accused of something doesn't even have a chance to simply respond or defend themselves, and you go to their video and the first thing you see is rapist, 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 get off YouTube, rapist. And I'm thinking to myself, how scary is that for someone to be called a rapist when there either is very little evidence to even support the claim, but that the people making the accusations against you are only providing one side of the story and showing off screenshots of conversations that aren't even in the full context so you can see the other side of what they're talking about. I've talked about this in past videos before, but I went to court with my ex-girlfriend. And one of my biggest fears has always been her uploading a video trying to defame me or trying to make accusations against me, which she made previously, which got thrown out in court because none of the claims that she made against me were substantiated, and, excuse me, all of the claims that she made, I refuted in court with evidence that she told me herself that she was going to do this if I didn't do this. She said that I was harassing her, which I had her blocked on everything, and I showed the judge that she was blocked on every social media website that I had, so I wasn't in contact with her, but she insisted that I was attempting to harass her, among many other different things. The entire case got thrown out, and she actually got yelled at by the judge, and the judge actually accused her of pretty much lying, because all the things that she attempted to say that I was doing was simply her word and no evidence to prove anything. All I'm trying to say in this video here is that I sincerely believe that you and me should not believe in this trial by social media. That just because someone accuses someone of something else does not mean that they are automatically guilty. Does anyone know what due process is in regards to the law? You are innocent until you are proven guilty. And I feel as if a large part of the YouTube community doesn't understand that you are innocent until proven guilty. That's why we have the that is why we have the judicial system set up. And sometimes I'm not saying that the law is perfect and flawless, but to instantly jump on these bandwagons against people when evidence has not even been really shown that this person is the person that the others are claiming them to be. But there's nothing more insulting and scary than being called a rapist and you have no chance to even attempt to defend yourself because people are automatically bandwagoning on an emotional response. That's ultimately what this is these emotional responses to people who make accusations and therefore label someone a rapist when the facts and evidence haven't been truly examined to their fullest potential. That's all I'm trying to say. In no way am I saying that people haven't been raped who claim that they are raped, but I'm talking about this specific case by trial by social media where more things and more information needs to be discovered and found out before we make an accusation that someone is a rapist. When you have someone like Sam Pepper who has loads and amounts of evidence of trying to get underage nude photos of girls, that's a different story. But in other instances like this, when someone else calls someone else a rapist without really no substantial evidence or presents something one-sided, the last thing you and me need to do is jump an emotional bandwagon in order to become social justice warriors. My name is Daniel Sulzbach. I have there's a lot of links down below. I recommend you expand that. I have several videos on sexual abuse and manipulation that are also linked down below that I've made previously on this channel that deals with sexual abuse, how to detect sexual abuse, how to heal from sexual abuse, and I really encourage you guys to watch that because they seem to have helped a lot of people. My name is Daniel Sulzbach, also known as Mr. Repzion. Thank you for watching this video, and have a fantastic Wednesday.